Welcome to day 3 of turning a pile of MDF into merry and bright.
I've basically made the chimney stack. Now, for reference, the camera angle is flipped. So sometimes if the house looks funny, it's because I'm recording this on my front-facing camera so I can see what you guys are looking at. But for the purpose of reference, the chimney is actually on the right-hand side of the house. So the side of the house with the pantry, not the stairs. But because this is the side of the roof that you guys can see, I'm just going to show you that this is how it's going to sit. Very chimney-like. Figure out how to do this. If you're like me and you struggle with angles, I've watched quite a few YouTube videos and they're all saying you need to find the angle of your roof. Well, I haven't the foggiest, and I ChatGPT'd it, I Googled it, I got an angle finder on my phone. Every single angle finder came out with something different. So in the end, I just thought, let's just Shelby this and see what we can come up with. I cut 3 sides in a 4 cm wide, 9 cm high box. Well, a U-shaped box. I didn't cut the back piece. I cut a longer piece in the same width, in 4 cm. Positioned that on the roof and pushed this longer piece down. Sorry, that's my clock. Push this longer piece down until I basically got the length that I needed for this taller piece, and that gave me then my angle. I hope that makes sense. So this is a 9 cm front piece. I then cut, I really don't feel like I'm explaining this very well, but I then cut longer pieces. You see how this is the 9 cm mark here? This is the longer measurement, which I actually don't know what that is, so let's just tell you. 13 centimetres. So yeah, from my 9 cm point on this roof, it was 13 centimetres down, and that basically gave me my angle. So I measured that, and then I measured this, and then 9 centimetres up, and then that gave me my angle. I really hope that makes some sort of sense. For the actual chimney breast, or yeah, you know, the bit that from the outside. Now I've not done the same thickness. It is 3.5 centimetres. I don't know whether to go for the full 4. This at the moment seems to fit, you still can't see that angle, seems to fit quite nicely under the sloping roof here. But yeah, I can't, like, I'm not a perfectionist by any stretch of the imagination, but I kind of want them to match. I think I'm quite happy with the chimney breast. I followed the exact same process that I did with this. All I've done is I've cut out the correct size pieces. So up here now, this neck piece of the chimney breast has been cut to match the width of this chimney. Even though they're not going to be side by side like this, I just think it makes sense that all of it be the same width. And then basically I just eyeballed it. I'm not going to lie to you. I looked at the base of the chimney and I thought it would look nice if we had, you know, the sort of bump out roughly about here. So I used my nifty little angle tool that I've accidentally created when I was making the top of the chimney, just to get a nice 45-degree angle on these sides, and then I have trimmed the walls on the edge to suit. So what I'm going to do now is dismantle all of these pieces and cut them out on my piece of 3.6mm MDF. So let's get started. Okay, so that is the chimney breast and chimney stack glued on. They're just in the process of drying. Again, I just eyeball everything. We're not going for ultimate perfection here. We're going for whimsy. Okay, so whilst that dries, I've decided to turn my attention now to the front door and the window. So at the front of the building, there is a circular window in the triangular space at the front here. That's going to be this. And then these are the front doors. Really beautiful. Yeah. I've got my Sheldon by Coat Paints here in my little goo glass, and I have warmed it the tiniest bit with the colour that we used on the outside of the house. To the point though, I don't really know if it's made that much of a difference. I don't know if you can tell if you're familiar with the colour yourself. So yeah, I've got my gross old rag here. Let's make a start. So I'm literally just going to paint this on in sections. I don't know if you can see. I keep saying I'm getting better at these camera angles. I'm trying to. I really don't think I am. Okay. So I'm going to just paint this on in sections. Let it sit purely whilst I'm painting. And I'm going to go in and wipe it off.
So I thought it would be good to put the doors and windows in situ, and I'm actually really happy with how they've turned out. I think they look, you see where like it hasn't taken because of the glue spots, but I think this is giving us just a nice sort of rustic edge, completely unintentional, desired but unintentional. I thought that I was having to like go in with maybe a little bit of sandpaper, but no, I'm really happy. There are some patches like this in particular that sort of probably I'm not as much of a fan of as I am maybe this sort of section, but there is going to be a garland along here anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that right now. But yeah, I managed to repair the door as well, so they are no longer falling out of the frame. I've put it into the wall, but I've not glued it in. I think that's what I might do now before I leave for my appointment this morning. And of course, I've also put the window in for up here as well, but again, I've not glued that in either. The chimney breast is looking really good. Yeah. Thank you for joining me on day 3 of the CLAUSHAUS Doll's House project, and thank you again for bearing with me as I continue to learn about filming and editing footage for my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and I would love to read any of your thoughts and feedback in the comments below. Join us for day 4, that will be coming out on Thursday, and in that video we will be preparing and attaching the logs to the side of the doll's house. This is going to give the project that real log cabin feel. Looking forward to seeing you then. Take care, bye.